thing is, no matter what situation we're in, it's just a game of problem solving.
When was the last time your day actually went exactly the way it was? Never. We wear so many hats that it will never go that way. Our worlds explode. The roof leaks, the client calls this. When do I do what I'm supposed to do?
You signed up for the job. So if you're going to bitch about it, don't do it. Not every lift is perfect. You're going to miss a meal. You're going to have a free meal that was too heavy. You're going to check in and look like crap one week.
Every single detail matters. Down to what color is the lobby bathroom going to be. Everything matters.
Started at 003. Right?
003. Yeah.
003.
Yeah, because the first one was technically 0 and then 1, 2. So we are on number 3.
3. Okay. Yeah. Cool. How are we doing so far?
I don't know. We'll find out when people give us
There's
feedback.
Like 1 view.
Yeah.
2 likes. I'd be like, oh,
when
this isn't good.
When we started our first version of the YouTube, which doesn't count, and we're not using it.
We never posted it.
No, it's up there. It's live. We have I think.
Oh, you mean I'm talking way back in years ago when we sat.
Oh, not our first podcast. We should somehow loop that into this.
I had a mustache.
Yeah.
It was like a broom.
We did it in Total Athlete.
It was awesome.
That was pretty good content. For not knowing anything about, we knew this stuff, but not knowing how to make a podcast. We literally took my phone and just went like this and then recorded a podcast.
And then we never put it up.
Well, because it was too big. The file was so large, my phone kept saying it wouldn't upload. I couldn't send it. I couldn't upload. I couldn't do anything.
Sent it to me. I would have handled it.
Yeah, I thought, who could fix this problem right now? Definitely Blake. That's when I have a technology issue.
Easy.
Yeah,
Back of my hand. All right. So the topic today's
episode is brought to you by Monster. Actually,
Monster Energy. We're unraveling our gym. Dude, the top broke off my Yeti.
Oh,
yeah, I dropped it in the parking lot. Broke.
Is that why you had a rough morning?
Yeah, it's a case of the Mondays. Great
on a Wednesday. It is a pretty gray Wednesday.
It's actually on Saturday.
Oh, the day of the event. That probably ruined the event for you. No,
there's a lot of things that ruined. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We had our event. That was good. We'll keep growing that. We'll talk about that another time.
Okay. As I said, do we want to do a quick recap of Health
We can
is
do a
Wealth?
quick recap before we start the episode.
Yeah. Just nothing
Health
crazy,
is Wealth event, Volume 2.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good.
Some things we'll change and do. It's still a learning process when you have an event like that. I mean, all our events are new because we're new.
Yeah.
So it's still in the planning process, I'd say, of how do you make each event better over time, whether it's an anniversary thing. We have the women's health event coming up, the Health is Wealth that we just did. So I think it was a good, I'd like to definitely see more competitors.
100%.
Yeah.
The competitors that were there were good. I mean, we had definitely some strong people there. It was cool, but we could have doubled the amount of competitors, really.
Well, yeah, and when you make a focus on a particular group, people a special. I don't care. We have a special focus on police and fire, and military, first responder, that kind of and partial. Dude, you're gonna piss a lot of people off.
I wasn't making fun of anyone
directly. No, I think if you have a special focus on a group of individuals that you're trying to promote or kind of connect the community. That was the goal, is to connect community with our first responders in Frederick. Mm-hmm. So kind of missed the mark on that one, I think, a little bit, just because we didn't have any first responders that really showed up besides 2 members of the gym that are already there. Yeah. Which, you have to take some ownership in that. Maybe we could have done a better job at promoting that through the police and fire departments ourselves, other than just flyers and emails, because I know when I was a cop,
that's a good point. If you got a flyer in your wherever mailbox or whatever, you're okay,
delete.
Yeah, okay,
no.
So it's
If it wasn't a case or something I was handling, I was I'm not going to read that. Or if I wasn't in trouble or something, I'm just going to pass it up. Which I just left me alone anyway. I just handle my calls and went home. But anyway, so it's. I think we'll probably redirect a little bit of the focus. Because the whole bigger focus is. Of Health is Wealth is mental health and awareness of that, right? So for everyone.
Yes.
And then bringing the gym and connecting the two and saying, here's a positive outlet, here's a positive community that you can rely on and a place to get better.
Yep.
And it's a positive, twist on the whole thing when you're either struggling with whatever it is. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the really overall goal. And then we did the first responder fire, because there's a lot of things you see on the job that, I know personally for me, it was a lot of stuff I saw. I just kind of throw in I would call it mental dumpster. So there's a lot of stuff in there I just don't talk about ever, just like I do with a lot of things. and it's good for me. The outlet was the gym, obviously, but the outlet's been the gym my whole life. Yeah. So it was easy to just be like, okay, I'll just go to the gym and rip the barbell off the ground and call it a day. But that's also, you're not technically handling the problems either. So
that's true.
It takes a bigger person to sit down and be like, okay, there's still some demons or things I need to wrestle with, and trying to breeze by them by trying to kill myself in the gym is a temporary fix, not a permanent fix. And as you get older, you realize that more and more, and you need to find ways to, because that bleeds into your relationships and for your kids, your wife, your significant other, whatever. So, but that was why that focus was kind of there. But I don't know, we'll change it up a little bit next year, have a little bit more in attendance, and I even thought about making the competition not just a push pull, but like more of like not a high rocks, but like a sandbag carry with it, like more of a circuit kind of thing. I think more people would enjoy that. So it's not maybe intimidating as like just a push pull. How much can you deadlift, brother? And I'm like, some people get intimidated by that.
Or some people don't do that, but then they're strong in other ways, and that's so no, that's good. I think that there's like in all things and this is a really good segue into just the regular business side of a gym or any business. It's new and it's a business, and like you said, it is new. So we have to do things, try them to the best of our ability, and then when they're done, we take a step back and assess it and say what worked, what didn't work. It's kind of like a prep. It's like anything else. You do it, you follow the plan. When you're done, it probably didn't go 100% the way it's supposed to, and then we just take it and learn from it. And we've already had multiple meetings, with people like Luke and other people that helped us plan it to say what went well, what didn't go well, and we're already planning for next year, which is 11 and a half months away.
Yeah.
But that's intelligent to do that because
we have time on our side now.
Exactly.
To actually plan things out.
The first 2 years, dude, we were basically living month to month, and we're just like, what's happening the next 3 to 4 weeks?
Survival mode.
Exactly. And now we can map things out and do it better, and it's good. So I think
that's with everything. So the Health is Wealth event was great.
It was.
Thank you for everyone that came out, and thank you for the donations to the Mental Health Foundation of Frederick County. Hear that squeak? So it went well, and we appreciate all our members because all of our the people that lifted were like all members in like the Unrivaled
which is awesome.
Which is really cool to see that people take it serious and just kind of have our backs in a way. It's kind of cool. Again, that's why the gym is successful. It's the community that we've created and the culture. And now the culture is kind of building on itself. So segueing the Health is Wealth event to the topic today was how bodybuilding relates to business, how we kind of utilize what we've learned in bodybuilding, the discipline, the kind of never give up, the grind mentality. I hate to use that word, but it's true. I mean, you just kind of grind every single day. And just that mental toughness and building resiliency and confidence within yourself to kind of handle anything, right? And we had that early on. That was in the first episode. If you listen to that, like a lot of resiliency was built there. I mean, new resiliency was built there. Right? So a whole nother layer. Man, there's so many things that bodybuilding has taught me and you both. I know you can touch on this too, but business is brand new to me. It's not brand new to you, but there's a lot of things you've learned along the way. And, for me, I always go back to, the thing is, no matter what situation we're in, it's just a game of problem solving. So every day, if you look at it, it's really easy to go negative because I used to do this early on. I think I always think of things as a task on my list of things to do, like a grocery list. So I have my day, I swing my feet out of bed, put them on the ground and go, okay, I have to get this done now. And I have this list of shit to accomplish. And if I don't accomplish it, then I get upset because I'm like, I didn't accomplish what I needed to. Well, I realized really fast that list is never going to get accomplished every day. It's not like bodybuilding in the sense like you have your cardio, lifting, your meals.
That's a good point. It's in that way it's not.
So like I felt very defeated for a long time because in the first year of business and before it, because I'm in this whirlwind of I can never get it right. And that I'm very hard on myself in the sense of I need to have perfect days. If it's not close to a perfect day, it's a loss. And I kept having losses, but we weren't losing necessarily. And I'm now I'm confused.
Which is weird, right? Yeah.
Because I'm and then you realize well, that's not how business works. You have problem solving and I don't even like to call them problems. Rain coming in through the roof that leaks every goddamn day. All these issues with that you have in the gym. there's going to be issues just like every business has every single day. And
just like every person has.
Exactly. And they're not problems. It's business. Yeah, it's your job. So now your job is to be a problem solver and do it really well or as best as you can on a daily basis, and not let other people's comments or, pressure from others, because you have to understand that they don't see it through the lens that we do. They don't operate and run a business. So it's easy for someone to say, hey, Blake or Mark, this isn't done. Hey, Blake or Mark, this isn't done. Hey, this needs fixed. Hey, you guys, are you going to do this? Are you going to that? You can really, and I know a lot of business owners, especially gym owners, because they're not really great at business necessarily, that I knew in the past, that like you can get really negative with that, because you're like, why is everyone asking me? I'm still struggle with it daily. Like I'm probably, people see that when they ask me something. I'm like,
they see.
I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? That's not a problem. Yeah. Like we have like 50,000 problems
because they don't have the macro level view of what we're doing, big picture.
Right, and we're not commercial, so we don't go. Well, just send it to my
send it to this department down the hall. We are
all the departments.
We wear all the hats.
So there's 50 offices, and we're all of them. So we have to run in between all the offices. Like we're on fire. Yeah. All day long. So yeah, I mean, you have days where you burn out, and you have days where you have good days where you get a lot done. You have days where you feel like you just weren't productive at all. Yep. So that list, I realized real quick, was like, yeah, I can't use that as let me try to make this more positive. And you taught me a lot of those things too, because you'd be like, hey, dude, it's not going to work. Like, and you're like, yeah, you're right. So here's some issues. Let's handle them. You handle it here. Let's divide and conquer like we always do, and just try to have a good week. Right. And as long as you're taking steps every day to make the gym or your business better, that's the goal. And that's where bodybuilding comes in, because not every lift is perfect. You're going to miss a meal. You're going to have a free meal that was too heavy. Mm-hmm. You're going to check in and look like crap one week. But it's the long game. Yeah. And that's the biggest, like the bodybuilding part teaches you the long game. There is not short. This instant gratification that everybody wants, that's not how it works in bodybuilding. I have this conversation every day, especially with new competitors. They don't win first place in one show, and they're like,
I'm going to quit.
I thought I had my pro card. And I'm like, what? No, dude, that's not how it works. Jeez, I haven't had a freaking overall at a local I haven't had an overall at the Frosted Flakes Classic yet in 13 years of bodybuilding, right? So just calm down. And if maybe you're in it for the wrong reasons. So that's a whole nother. I'm going off on a different topic.
We would save that for a different time.
Leave it up.
I feel like that the list thing is something that is really important to talk about, because it's something that people could definitely struggle with it, whether they're in business or not. And it's something that I think I still am not great at, but at times I think now we've both changed how we operate with this. But I think in the beginning, it's funny if I reflect on our business relationship. Mm-hmm. There were times where I know that because in the beginning I had the capacity or the difference to be like, okay, I'm going to go through my list of things, and I know I don't have to win this whole thing. But you also needed me to do all the things and you at the same time, and it would stress you out, and then I'd feel bad about it. But I knew and now we both know. I'm going to get to it, but I have compartmentalized in my head, that's a Thursday problem, not a today problem, because we have 5 other problems to deal with right now, and it's okay. And now we both realize it's okay to do – some things must be done immediately when they show up.
Yeah.
Some things, okay, I'll get to it tomorrow morning, even though it's today, and that's completely okay. That person can wait, and because we have to – prioritize ourselves first, and not even ourselves.
We haven't prioritized ourselves though for
we
3.5 years.
We haven't, and we have not. We have
not. Mental hit on
I know, and that's why I'm saying it. That
I'm on fire.
We and all business owners. Think about it. Anytime we go to an event and we talk to other business owners, we're all saying the same things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We all struggle with prioritizing ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying we should prioritize ourselves like let's go home on the couch and watch Netflix and have a snack.
You can't do that.
That's not what I'm advocating.
Can't do it.
Yes, but you need to prioritize yourself. Like, okay, you have this list of 15 things you're going to get done today. There's no way they're all going to get done. So pick the top 5 to 8 of them. Make sure those get done. The other ones strategically move to another day.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, again, it's like bodybuilding, like a free meal. When you tell yourself, I'm going to move these 7 things to tomorrow, Now you didn't fail because it's part of the plan that they're getting done tomorrow. When you get to the end, we've both been here, when you get to the end of your list and you're like, dude, I had 20 things to do. I only did 3 of them, and I added 5 more to my list without getting. Then you feel defeated because you didn't do what you're said to do. That's why I allow myself to say, I'm willingly taking these things. I'm putting them over here for the next day or whatever. And now I'm like, cool, I feel good about it because now I don't have to get it done today. But that's what I mean when I say we have to prioritize ourselves. We have to make space for ourselves. Just be human beings too, because a lot for the past 2 or 3 years, you and I have basically been robots, and we just are and in a weird way, I think we both default to that because if we keep bringing this back around full circle, that is what a successful bodybuilder is. We become robots, and you just do the same thing over and over again. But that is how it's weird because that is how you find, in my personal opinion, I know you agree, that is how you find success in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You just turn it off and become. So when we both are stressed in business, I'm like, that's what I resort to. I'm like, I'm just going to shut it all down. I'm going to be a bodybuilder. I'm going to be a robot. And then no emotions are there. Nothing. No one's home. It's just, I'm going to get things done. But you can't do that to be successful in business either.
I know.
It doesn't work. We've tried. It doesn't. It works in some capacities, oddly, but there's still a human part of business that you can't be like that. You have to treat other people as a human being.
Yeah, emotionally you can't. If I had the same mentality I did with like when I was policing, this is no knock on anyone that doesn't own business or entrepreneurial whatever. CEO, bro, CEO. I hate it. I cannot stand that, dude. I actually own a business. Great dude. No one cares.
Nobody. Same, bro. Same. I have 3 of them.
Just shut up. When I was a police officer, I told you this all the time. It was like I'd come home and turn the radio off.
Yes.
When I was at work, like it was like, well, obviously,
you're right.
Got to be alert.
But there's on and off. Right?
On and off.
Yeah.
I can just shut as soon as I turn the radio off.
Yeah, you could take all your stuff off and be like, I'm done as police officer Blake.
So
that's it.
Now back to bodybuilder. Yeah, easy. So now, and I know the days I'm working, and as long as I don't get held up on a call, which I usually honestly did, and like Howard County did a pretty good job with that. It's not like the city where they have to work. They're like, hey, you have to stay an extra 6 hours. I'd be like, yeah, I quit.
I'm not doing that.
You're eating in my bodybuilding now. So I was able to kind of shut my computer off, shut the radio off, and be like, sweet, done. Yeah. Okay, last meal, supplements, bed, wake up, clients, and go in order. And I like that.
Me too.
People sometimes are like, that sounds crazy. And I'm like, no, that's great. I love it. But now I'm like, man, I can't do that at all. You can't just shut it down.
Well, think about how stressed we both get in the very beginning because we wanted to be that like law and order. I
still try to do it now. And
but
I'm like,
you know how our days go, dude. When was the last time your day actually went exactly the way it was? Never. I couldn't tell you. 3 years ago, maybe. I have no idea.
Ever since
Unrivaled got here.
Ever since we literally said, hey, let's go through with this.
Never.
Because it was literally the next day when we started planning. And ever since that day, it's like, it's not a bad thing.
But we're not complaining.
Not at all. It's part of
it.
We signed up for it.
And like you said earlier, we wear so many hats that it will never go that way. Things happen. There's times and I know this happens to you, I have a list of, again, 10, doesn't matter how many things on the list. I don't start the first one until like 6 p.m. because we get to the gym and it's just our worlds explode. And this happens. And like you said, the roof leaks, the client calls this, that, I got to open the gate, all these things. And you're like, when do I do what I'm supposed to do?
I don't know.
We say all the time, we're like, dude, it's 7 p.m. already.
Or there's like a line. Let's say there's 5 different people at the gym. And it's important for people to know this so they like maybe don't see it in the wrong light. This happened last night.
Yeah.
Right? There's like, I'm trying to lift. I have an hour to do less than an hour to do the lift, about 40 minutes. And I had my 30 minutes of cardio. Counted to 10 is warm up. Dude, I'm on a ticking time clock. Yeah. Now, I don't want to ignore our members. I like our members. I like having conversations with people. I really enjoy our members. Yeah. But I'm also like, dude, if I don't do this, I had 13 more check-ins to do. Yeah. It was 8:30. Well, and we have to pay bills and do the
like you said. You have to make time for yourself.
So when you see the first person, you're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And you go to the next person, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." 13 minutes out of my own time, and now I'm getting angry because I'm like, not at them,
not them. They don't know because they're not doing it on purpose. I only had the 40 minutes, and now I only have, 28 or whatever. How am I supposed to even have a productive workout now?
And then you see the next person, and now I'm like kind of irritated.
No,
and they're like, hey, dude, quick question. And I'm like, hey, man, I got to actually like lift right now. And they're like, oh.
And,
it's always, and then you're like, oh, man, I feel bad. You know what? I'll just, and this is what I did in the first year. Because I didn't want anyone to think we're being rude or disrespectful. So I would just say, okay, I'm just not going to lift tonight.
Yeah, I know.
But then I'd be in a bad mood from that because I didn't lift.
And that, again, that comes back to in business, you have to look out for yourself. And it's not even in a selfish way. But that's, I don't want to sound like we're whining about it, but that's not fair to you that you have to say, I'm just not going to lift because I need to keep appeasing all of our people. It should go both ways. That again, everyone won't realize that we just had an extremely long day of 9 hours of nonsense. Like maybe they didn't. So now this is your one and only hour to do it. Yep. They don't know what you did before that. So it's not their fault.
Not their fault at all.
But it's also
if you put
not.
yourself in their shoes, I would think, oh man,
he has all the time in the
he's
world.
Always running around. They're always running around like chickens.
So when am I ever going to get to talk to them?
And they're like, they're in the business, but they're actually not like here. Like, so I get it. Like, so
it's
tough.
Conversely, it's not your fault that they're feeling upset that their hurty feelings are there because it's all about them. They're like, I want to talk to Blake right now, and he's not talking to me because they have to have the ability, hopefully, to realize maybe he isn't, not maybe, he's not ignoring me. Blake's not ignoring me. Mark's not ignoring me because they don't care. Because I think that we do a pretty good job of showing we care a lot about our people and the gym. And did we, again, we don't have to say it a lot. I think that it just shows, and I'll leave it at that. But it's people, I would hope that one day people realize, and this is for anyone that interacts with someone that owns a business or is doing a lot in life.
Yeah, not just a gym.
Yeah, it's not just
business.
A gym, it's anyone.
It could be a new bakery, a new pottery place,
it's
whatever.
Just, you have to remember that other people have their lives too, and other people have time restraints, and you can't always assume that they're in a bad mood or they're being mean. They're just, but
this is where the business eats alive. The person like eats their life
because
away,
we
and they get like divorced and whatever.
Exactly.
Because they don't have time.
Because
you can't juggle both.
If you did that last night and you picked option 2 of, I'm just not going to lift, I'll talk to all these 5 people, which could have easily taken 45 minutes to talk to 5 different people.
More than that, probably,
Yeah. You then would leave and sit there and now go back upstairs and be like, I'm annoyed and I'm upset and I'm angry and all these things. And then you have to live in all those feelings too, and that's not
and
okay.
And carry them home if you have a significant other.
Exactly.
And they don't know that you just went through all that.
Just like the member doesn't know that you're busy on a time crunch. So maybe if everyone just thinks beyond themselves a little bit sometimes and realize people say all the time, you never know what other people are going through. Not to say when we're working out, we're going through something, but just think about other people beside yourself.
Sure.
Because we deal with that. And this is another, I'm not going to turn this into complaining of business rant, but think about, it's not, but I'm trying to frame all of this because think about when we come to the customer service side of things and all of the emails we'll receive about my account was billed this and this and this. The way you communicate with people, like initially, to be like, because you need something and you want something out of it. The way I'm going to try to be really good about this. The way you start a conversation, the way you carry yourself through a conversation in life in general is really important.
Oh, you mean like, hey, get this done.
Yeah.
Now.
I did this. Well, no, you didn't. And now I'm going to show you why you're wrong because you didn't do it that way. But people, again.
It's like so direct. It's like a direct attack.
That's how it feels, though.
I feel attacked right now.
It's just like.
Then you have to put the professional pants on and be like, okay, hold on. No. And this is, by the way, everyone needs to know this. Mark is fantastic. If you ever received an email from Mark, fantastic. My emails are like, it's like how I feel.
It is. It's like your literal thoughts.
Wow, how about we just relax for a second? And I reread the email and I'm like, oh, I can't say that.
I think it's just a regurgitation of your brain, like word for word.
Yeah, not good. Your PwC era comes out then. You're like,
it does. I miss it.
Good evening.
Yeah.
I understand your concern, and I see where you're coming from in this point of view, in this angle. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. You don't talk to somebody like that, all right? Let's just be real and be human.
That's why it's a good balance. It definitely works out well. But again, in business, all of this stuff is the people-to-people interactions are important. I think that's where I was kind of going with this. And maybe it's because of the world we live in with cell phones and social media and whatever. I almost feel like people are losing the ability to have human-to-human interactions correctly. What it is I think people are, when people are online, they'll say ridiculous things in comments.
Like the keyword words.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And I think that now people are almost beginning to, act that way in person. And I'm like, whoa, dude. You're not going to talk to me like that.
It's pretty easy.
It is, because now they're conditioned to believe that's how you talk to other people, and you can get away with it. But think about how many times people have said things to us in person, and then we respond the way we respond, and you see their entire everything on their face, their demeanor change. They go, "Oh wait, I shouldn't have said that." Yeah, dude, you actually shouldn't have said that. Even just the people that have snuck into the gym, and you and I go together and confront them, and we're never like dickheads about it, but we confront them, and we're very direct with them.
Wait,
and they look like they're going to poop their pants.
Well, you just committed a theft. So that's
exactly.
Well, it's just a gym.
It's just
man.
$18, bro.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah,
it doesn't cost you anything.
It's not like you guys aren't One Life or whatever. What does that have to do with anything? Well, you're not like a commercial gym, so like.
What they're saying is you're not a real business.
You want $100 in cash? Here you go. I'll just give you $100 in cash too. Where you're at? You want a massage? I'll give you a massage too.
Isn't that crazy though? This is another thing this is not a new concept that people talk about.
This topic before people.
I know. This is just we'll move away from
bash fest.
But I think I'm gonna pull it back a little bit here.
This is also like 1% of our population.
It is. It is.
All our members are awesome.
And this is not a unique. This happens everywhere.
Yeah, it does.
But that One Life example is interesting because people say this all the time, that because we're a small local business, for some reason in people's eyes, and this is most small businesses.
This also isn't a direct hit on One Life.
We're
literally not saying anything bad about One
We're
Life.
not.
We don't say anything bad about any gyms in the area.
Well, I have nothing bad to say about them.
Actually care.
Exactly. I'm just using it as the example that the person said to us.
That's correct.
They were
that was a direct statement.
Yeah, they were comparing us to a One Life type gym, saying we're not a real business. So I find it interesting
and then it went on to say, I'm not going to pay.
Yeah, because you're not legitimate like a gym like that, which it's the same concept of people say this all the time. They'll go buy Jordans for $400, no problem. They'll buy all the high level stuff, never blink an eye. Yep. But then they'll come to people like us and be like, hey, bro, you think I can get like a discount at your gym? Like, no, dude, because you're willing to support a multi-billion-dollar company without a blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. But then when that we're a locally owned small business that don't have anywhere close to billions or millions or thousands of dollars. So why would you ask for a discount for people that are here on the ground? Like, I'm not saying we're bootstrapping it, but like we're doing everything. It's so counterintuitive, but it's how a lot of human psychology works, where people do that. It's people talk about it all the time, but I've never been able to figure out. And it's one of my bigger pet peeves in business of people assuming things and asking for things. Wow. But they're like, come on, bro, we're friends. You should give me a discount.
Well, so I'm just gonna say it because it's gonna piss people off. So we'll end on this, so we'll move in another direction. So
I have other business things to talk about too.
Good business stuff, but I'm gonna leave it at this with the free handout stuff. All of my really, really close, true friends have never asked for a discount.
Yep.
They never asked any of it. They either just paid the day pass right away, or they bought a shirt, or they whatever, and they say, hey, man, proud of you and your success and what you did. And they just left it at that. There was no awkward conversation of like, hey, like, so like the day pass?
Yeah.
No, man.
No.
Why? Because now it's awkward. Because now you're making me feel like I have to give free stuff. Why would I give free stuff when we're in the first year and a half of business?
Even if we were 20
years in, I just put my life on the line for the business.
Yeah.
So did you.
Uh-huh.
No one else was in Arkansas.
Nope.
So it's really, and I always try to put myself in the other person's shoes. If you opened a coffee shop or something, when did I ever ask for free stuff at Total Athlete?
I use that example all the time.
Because I respect you.
Never. You have never even remotely insinuated
that's your job.
that.
That's how you make money.
Exactly.
How that doesn't make any sense.
It's so
to
funny
me
you say that. I use that.
That's actually
example.
super asinine, and it wasn't the way I was raised.
Exactly. Well,
My dad would. If I would have asked for something free, my dad would have looked at me and said, "It's not free. Go work for it, dude."
I mean, there's sometimes where you told me you don't even want the police discount on the store. You're like, I don't need that, dude. I'm like, well, I'm going to give.
That's because people abuse it.
Yeah, exactly.
Been on the force for no one cares, dude. Just pay the full price. You're not special. You served the community. Okay, I signed up for that job.
You chose to do it.
Well, I see a lot of bad stuff. You signed up for the job. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna bitch about it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't have that job. Go stuff teddy bears. I don't know.
Build a bear, dude. But it's funny because
back in the day? Yeah, that was a good place. Good business concept.
We should have started that.
It'd been way better.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Last thing I was saying on that, because I agree with it completely, is that that example, and then not that my other friends don't do it too, but I do believe that your closest friends and family should do that. Like I've said, Spencer, every time, my best friend from home growing up, I've been friends with him for 30 years.
Yep.
Every single time he comes, first of all, I think he's the only one of my friends that has come to the gym, which this is not coming at anyone else.
Like Danny and Loader.
Every time he's been to the gym, he buys 2 to 3 shirts. He spends money in my store, supplements. He doesn't even use some of them all the time. He's a good person, and he cares, and he's a true friend, and that's what you do to people. You support them.
He celebrates in your success, though.
Yes, and that's
the ticket.
Not hard to do. I think it's easy to do. A lot of people struggle with truly being happy for other people when they have success. Because like, well, when is it my turn? When is it my turn?
Right.
Like, it will be your turn when you deserve your turn. But in the meantime, why can't you be happy for other people too?
It's usually like somewhat of an insecurity thing. Probably
it is definitely
whatever going on.
It's funny. Like I remember like maybe I'm gonna say things I don't want to say, but like when I was growing up, like if it was my brother's birthday, I would still get like a small present too. And I'm like, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Because it's not your turn to be celebrated. And I'm like. And then when I think back on that, and now that happens tenfold with people, because you're trying to like keep the kid at bay, like, oh, don't be upset.
Sure.
How about you teach them you don't be upset about that because today's not your birthday, so why would I ever fucking give you a present on a random day? That's dumb.
Well, and again, it comes back to how you're raised, right?
Yeah.
Because again, like I think my dad did a really good job at like, and my mom did too, but at a very young age. But my dad did a lot of it towards the latter end. Of like, again, no one owes you anything.
Nobody owes you anything.
So if you're standing there ready for handouts or whatever, you have to create everything you have yourself. And if you don't cry about it. It's your fault.
Because you don't
have
it.
And it's your problem. It's called accountability.
Yeah.
Taking accountability, taking ownership for everything you do in your life. Treating people how you want to be treated. Working as hard as you can to gain the success that you want. You know, and that's everything's easily accessible, and that kind of triggers that, I think, too. Like, I want to hear it, I want it now. And kids now, I feel bad because it's not even their fault, but like the phones and the instant gratification of the world and what the American culture provides for them is not helping them out. And how are they supposed to be leaders of a business or leaders of our country or any of that?
That's scary,
when they just get handouts all the time and get to live at home and have free handouts. Everything's free.
Yep. And then the second you actually come to that, I mean, we've had this happen a few times recently where we'll go to other people, whether they're somehow affiliated with us in some way, shape, or form, and we kind of give them the hard truth, not in an asshole way, but we just are honest, like brutally honest with them. Mm-hmm. You watch them kind of melt away because nobody's ever done that to them in their life.
Or you can tell they're like they view you different. They're like, you're an asshole.
They do. That's how they.
And I'm like, I'm actually not an asshole. I'm just being honest.
Yes.
Like,
but they crumble inside.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yes, and I'm truly sorry for them that they feel that way because I wish that you were brought up or you learned that just because someone has something that is perceived to be negative in your life in that moment, 9.5 times out of 10, especially in our situation, they're doing it as constructive criticism. Well, that's a whole other conversation that people cannot receive constructive criticism anymore. Mm-hmm. Think about it even in bodybuilding, but it's meant to help you.
Yeah.
But you have to be open to receive it.
That's right.
And not shut down by the constructive part of it or the criticism part of it and take the constructive part of it and then do something about it.
Yeah.
If someone came to me and said, hey, Mark, you're not good at this, and this, I'm not going to be like, hey, man, you're an asshole. You're mean. I'm going to say, thanks I wish someone told me sooner.
It's also how it's delivered.
Well, that comes back to human conversation and interaction.
Emails, right?
How do you approach someone? Yeah. If you come out of someone and be like, hey, dude, I got to let you know, this sucks. Yeah, no one's going to receive that well.
Right.
You have to do it in a way, and it has to come from someone that you respect and trust. And like if you came to me and said, hey, man, I got to tell you a few things, whatever, or some random person down the street said it in a condescending
it doesn't hold
way.
the same value.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen the same way, too. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of facets that go into that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, people are still looking to help you, but you have to be willing to receive it, too. And I don't think people get in like defense mode all the time now.
Yeah,
and they don't want, they can't believe. There was a video that I think my sister sent it to me, and it was like talking about like delusional people of today, and people were saying like the woman in the video was saying that a lot of people that are struggling with all these things, their reality becomes optional to them, so they can opt into their reality when it appeases them, but they can also opt out and just be like, nah, I don't want to deal with that today, and it's now your reality is not optional.
But like the workplace the criminal justice system, right? Like that's just lightly touched. It's all, you get a lot of free passes nowadays.
Yes, I think rules are optional.
Rules are optional.
Yeah.
Yep. So like retribution, like eye for an eye, it has diminished for hundreds and thousands of years probably, right? But it just gets worse and worse and worse to the point where now you commit a crime, or you don't do your job at work, or you treat someone poorly, and there's no consequence for it. Yeah. It's like, oh well.
Try again next time.
That gets me really negative when I start to think of that, because I'm like, that's just not real.
Yeah.
That's just, and it's not good for other businesses. It's not good for school systems, right?
It's not good for society.
It's not good for society.
It's just not. Fundamentally, it's just not good.
No, it's not.
There was something else I was thinking. Oh, you said this in the very beginning, maybe even like before we started, but this is something that I think relates really, really well to bodybuilding and business.
Yeah.
And I was listening to another video, which this person, it's Rob Bailey, and I know people feel certain ways about him. Yeah. I respect the things that he says, because he's done a lot of very, really cool, interesting, successful things. But he was talking about them building their new, well, it's not that new anymore, but when they were building their new headquarters.
Yeah, I think it's sick.
It's awesome, dude.
It's like a playground.
It really is awesome. And you and I have talked about this many times, and he's saying one of the most important things that really resonates with him, and what he kind of was the foundation of everything, is that quite literally every single detail matters. Yes. Everything. He said he envisioned down to what color is the lobby bathroom going to be. He said everything mattered. And if you think about it, that translates to so many things in business and bodybuilding. But with us and our experience, when people say, like, how did you guys do this? And, what did you do? How were you successful? Think about how many times we really thought about every single humanly possible detail of Unrivaled. Everything. I mean, even so much that when talking about the bathrooms, when Jesse was there and he's like, do you want elephant skin gray or rock gray? And we're like, dude, I don't know, man. But he's like, well, this one has a hue of blue in the background and this one has undertones of yellow. I'm like, bro, it's gray. He's like, no, it's not. And then that, for some reason, that day always plays in my head. I'm like, because I'm like, why does this matter? And he was like, it does matter, because people will feel a different way in here with the light reflecting, and I'm like, oh, I guess it. And bathrooms don't really actually matter, but the point of it is,
I was gonna say, everything that we have right now, definitely including the bathrooms, is not the way.
It's not. I'm not saying that we thought of every detail. I'm not saying that we. Unfortunately, we thought. Trust me, dude. You remember? I wanted the Taj Mahal. I wanted granite.
He wanted gold sinks.
I did think about what the bathrooms look like, and I wanted it. And then the budget came. I'm like, ooh, I'm not getting. I'm not getting any of those, dude.
You realize real quick, it's like in bodybuilding, we want everything to be perfect, right? But like, maybe you don't have all the money to buy all the supplements you need, right? But when I was starting out in bodybuilding, I bought 99 cents per pound chicken from Giant that tasted terrible and ruined my gut. And frozen green beans at 50
I can't even imagine that.
Oh, dude, I was like, just might as well sat in the bathroom and just ate my meals there. You know what I mean? I'm like, I wonder why my gut's messed up. Well, there's a lot of it, right? But I couldn't afford any of that. I didn't have the money. So as you get older and you make more money, you have a career, and you keep acquiring more money, and you're financially more sound, you can then buy more supplements or buy some of the necessities, or new wrist wraps, or the knee sleeves you needed, or the belt, or this or that, right? But you got to start from something, and same thing with business, right? Like, we were like, we want this. I mean, the things that we had on our list, we probably exceeded it by like $350,000
easily.
And I was like,
if not more.
We can't have any of that, but we can at some point. So now the goal is to, just like in bodybuilding, acquire those things over time. Yes. Again, marathon, not a sprint. So there's probably a lot of things that maybe some people see. I don't think a lot of people see the imperfections of the gym that we do, because we're perfectionists. We're like, all we see is the glaring things that are wrong, and we're like, we need to fix that. We need to fix this. We need to fix this. We need to, So, but that's not a bad thing. I don't think.
No,
that's a good pressure, because that's where gyms stall and suck. Because no one fixes it.
They turn a blind eye to the eyesores.
Yes.
We're like, and that's why we tell people, and we never mean it negatively against ourselves, when we're like, this still isn't it. Because we know what that again, every detail matters. We know what that original version that was in our heads of what we were dreaming of it to look like.
Yes.
And then because of budget constraints, literally because of capital and budget constraints, because no new business has all the money it needs up front, we couldn't. So you get as close as you can, but at least we have a vision. We know where we're going, because there's still things we're going to be doing the rest of this year, next year, the year after that. We already know those things are coming,
yes.
And we know that in the best way possible, the version, even the newly expanded version of Unrivaled that we're in today, is not the final product.
No, it's like a tiny little piece of the puzzle.
There's a lot more that I think people are like, oh, they're done. I'm like, dude, we're not even close to done.
Not even close.
There's so much more, and again, it's not even coming to fruition yet, so we're not going to go there. But
right.
we are already thinking of the imaginary phase 3, phase 4, phase 5,
yep.
And you have to be thinking about those details, because those matter. Just like we talk about finding ways to, let's say, like, automate some of the emails we send.
Yeah.
And but we don't
like taking time to work
though.
on the business. You used to say this all the time, and now I get it.
Yeah.
A million times over. We have to work on the business, not in the business.
Exactly.
We're still definitely in the business, answering emails, doing that, and like, it's not a waste of time. It needs to get done, but someone else, we need to delegate that time. And then you have people like, you guys should delegate this. Well, that takes money to pay someone to delegate time.
And the skill of delegation is actually very challenging.
Really hard. You can't just hire anyone and be like, hey, handle this.
You will fail instantly.
Or they will fail, and they
or they'll like steal your money, or what. I don't know. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, you have to set a lot of things in place, and like, you have to pay those people. Those are now employees that you have to pay, and if you don't have the financial backing yet for it, which again, when you're a startup business, you don't.
Yeah.
So you have to keep working hard and do the best you can to juggle a million things, and over time, try to delegate more. And we have already.
We have, but it's again, the theme we keep coming back to is it's a slow process. And like we talked about earlier, when people are like, well, why don't you just do this? Or like, we're 24 hours, but we're staffed from noon to 8 p.m. People are like, well, I don't understand. Why don't you just have someone here from 8 to noon? I don't know, dude. Well, if you actually do the simple math of payroll, that would be an extra $2,500 to our overhead that I have to pay that we can't do right now. So, but again, it's not their fault that why would they be thinking about our business's payroll and overhead?
I think at the end of the day, like, when people make comments like that, it's like they're just trying to like help. And be friendly.
They are, but it's
easier for a business owner to take
think
that as
before
like,
you speak. Too. Well, no one asks for your unsolicited advice.
I don't even get mad at it anymore.
I don't either. I don't get mad because I understand they're not thinking.
I just say that's a great idea.
Yeah, thanks. I never thought of that. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Yeah, have a good day. Okay. It's my same automated response over and over again. Oh, wow. What a good idea. that blew my mind.
Total asshole. This guy's such an arrogant person.
Yeah. But it's interesting that all those, all these things kind of go into each other. And, it's interesting too that when we're talking about the delegation and the emails, but then how every detail matters, it's one of the other, this is kind of like another like pain point in business that we have found that the success of what we're doing when it comes to, let's use the example of emails. You and I answer every single email that comes in. So yes, we should delegate that, but every detail matters. The detailed difference of one of the owners of the business replying personally to, hi, I want a tour. Like, yeah, that's not something that maybe we should.
Easy. Jesus Christ. You're allowed to do a tour.
Yeah, I know. Tours are great. But you can just show up.
You can just show up. You can definitely just show up and knock on the door. And we have a little ring camera.
It's awesome.
Yep.
We have a whole system.
Business hours are online. You can see them right there.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But we're happy to answer the email too. So we did. But so it's like, where do you draw that line of it's better for the member's experience when we answer it? But it's not better for us and our lifestyles and our day-to-day for us to answer 17 emails of come for a tour, which we're happy to do. But so where do you draw that line? And that's why I'm bringing it up of how you can do that. And there's no real solution. But
a big thing, it's just time management. But when you own a business, time management's a positive thing that would it be an asset? Something you acquire from bodybuilding. You have to have time management.
You do.
Because the bodybuilders and even the lifestyle clients that I have that like fail pretty hard every week, I'm like, you gotta like.
You were just talking about this on your story, I think, about like people like, because you're saying I don't care if you even have kids. Like, you can make the time if you have time management skills. Yeah, I remember.
I don't think of any of it. You know, people like on Instagram and social media, they're like, what should I talk about on my story or make a post of? I'm just like in the middle of a check-in and I'm like,
I'm doing this.
Oh God, this makes me angry. And I'm like, take a video.
Yeah, it's authentic.
It's unfiltered and
it's unfiltered.
I stutter
right,
and whatever. I don't care. I'm like, I gotta get the point across. Maybe someone will pick this up.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I probably come off very aggressive and like I'm mad or yelling at people. I'm really not trying to do that. I just want people to learn. And like take that accountability to be like, you're right, this is something I need to work on. Because we can all get better from that. Like, again, everyone goes into defense mode when it really doesn't matter what you have going on in your life. Because if you really, truly want something, you'll get it done. Mm-hmm. We truly want I always wanted my bodybuilding to succeed and be the best I could be. So I got it done no matter what. Mm-hmm. Now it just applies it to the business and it's our baby. And I'm like, I want this thing to do as best as it possibly can. I want it to grow and I want it to get better and bigger and have a good reputation. And I'll do whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. If I have to stay up till 1, 2 in the morning, 5 nights a week, which we've been doing for probably 3 years straight, then I'll do it. You feel like you're going to crack sometimes, but everyone's like, you know, you should get more sleep. And I'm like, you know, you should shut up. like, no, and I know it's coming from a good place. Like, I totally get it. And they're right. I should get more sleep.
You should.
I mean, I'm being a hypocrite telling people that I'm coaching, hey, you need to like prioritize your sleep a little bit more. Do you know how much you're killing yourself by not getting sleep? Your gains and recovery and blah, blah, blah. But this is a good segue from bodybuilding. Sometimes the best bodybuilders definitely would make a really bad business owner.
Absolutely.
Oh my, so bad, because the selfishness it takes in bodybuilding, you're first always, right? So I think a lot of bodybuilders struggle with relationships. Yeah. Because they're not willing to give a little like sacrifice for their partner.
And they're like, nope, it's time for meal two.
No, I got to do it. And then the other partner's like, well, no,
if they don't fit into the schedule, then
bro, I got to cook my chicken right now. Let's fight about it. So it's like, if you don't, when you go into business, like I realized quick, I'm like, bodybuilding is going to be on the back burner. I didn't like it. Honestly, at first.
I still don't really love
upset with it. And then luckily, I think God gave me injuries on purpose. He was like, shoulder. I was like, oh, no, I can't do anything.
But you still do anyway.
I tried, but I couldn't. Seriously, I'm really serious about that. It sounds crazy, but I'm like, I think it was all on purpose. Like, because if I was fully healthy, I would spend too much of my time on lifting and trying to recover and trying to get better as a bodybuilder. And maybe I wouldn't, but because it's not the priority. The business is the priority, right? And there's a lot of other things that take priority. And as you get older, you realize that. But I was definitely a little resentful. I think I'm better at it now because I'm like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be worth it. And we're seeing some of these things pay off for us now. Like, we're starting to slowly see some of these, like, all of our hard work pay off. Mm-hmm. It's slow. It's not there yet. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, this is all heading in the right direction. Yep. And all that sacrifice was worth it. But bodybuilding really just has to be on the back burner for a while. I can still do it. Of course. I know you want to compete again. Yeah. I really want to compete again. I got to get my body healthy. I know. But part of getting my body healthy is getting sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And having the daily time to do
I don't know if I'm going to be able to, mobility and things like that. All the things I preach as I coach. Yeah. People are like, I don't have time. And I'm like, you don't know what that means.
You don't know what that feels like,
because not having time is literally like when you have 4 hours of sleep and you're like, well, I can't get 2 hours of sleep or I won't be able to actually function.
I won't function.
So I got to do the 4. I got to skip the mobility, or I have to skip this, lifting session. I would do anything to give those sessions. I know you would too. Yeah. Last night I could see it on your face. Mm-hmm. You came in and you had a lot to do, and you just worked all day. And I could see it on your face because I was getting ready to lift. I'm like, hey, I'm going to lift, and you're like, yeah, dude, go for it. It's defeating.
It is. It's very.
You're like, man, I really want to get better. I want to lift right now. Mm-hmm. But you can't. You had to do whatever you had to do. Yeah. You had to hold up your end of the deal. Just like, and we both do that. You can get really resentful for that. Because it's like the business comes first, and that's got to be on the back burner for probably a long time. I don't know how long, but.
Hopefully not that long, because I don't have that many good years left. The runway's ending. So
the way the shoulder and the knees are going, it might just. I think it's about time to get into motocross.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, I know that you feel the same way. Like,
kidding to my wife.
Yeah, I'm going.
Kind of kidding.
You're not kidding at all.
I'm not kidding.
I'm going to prep in our gym 100%.
Yeah,
I'm going to compete. And that's. Yeah.
Are we?
Well, I don't. Not literally in our. Yes. Yeah. In a similar space.
Because I can tell everybody right now, if I'm in prep, No talkie.
No, we can't. I'm not even talking to you.
No, man. Just you got to get away from me. There's a job that needs to be done. Yeah. Don't talk to me.
I'm going to put a Stairmaster upstairs so I can just do cardio upstairs and not talk.
I have plenty of clients like that have said this to me for like, yeah, like I don't need to like lock in like that. I can just like kind of chill out and like I can like have. I'm like, you know what, man? You are not focused because the bodybuilders I have that are like, you don't have to not talk, but you can tell when someone's dialed in. Like they're in a zone that they need to be in to get better for that hour. And when someone's just like haphazardly like, don't use like, I'm just a chill person. No, dude, you're unfocused. 100% unfocused.
Yep.
And that will be a reflection down the road. And you will keep losing if you don't change that. Because the guys at the top at like these national scenes in the pro world of bodybuilding especially, they are not messing around. They just worked years and years and years and shut off everything around them to be 100% of their best. So for someone to think they can just walk in there and just like steal it away from someone, you're not going to steal anything from anyone. I wouldn't let anyone steal anything from me. I do because my genetics suck and they beat me anyway. But I'm not, mentally, I'm like, you're not going to take it away from me. You know.
That's a really good point, actually. And I just talked about this somewhere too. I can't remember where, but to me, I feel like when people, because that same concept, people are like, yeah, I'm so focused, I'm so dialed in, I'm locked in, man. But like, they're not.
You don't need to tell someone you're dialed in.
If you're talking about it, first and foremost, I don't really believe you. I think you're trying to convince yourself of that. But my take on this is that when it strictly from a bodybuilding standpoint, the level of focus you have doesn't come just from your drinking your pre-workout in the gym. To be truly dialed in, locked in, whatever you want to call it, focus, it actually begins outside of the gym. You're locked in from the moment you wake up. So if you live your life every day, and this is beyond bodybuilding, you wake up, you in the world of competing, let's say you do your cardio, you prep your meals, you pack your meals, you do this, you do all your vitamins, everything like that. So you lived your day. Let's say hypothetically you train at nighttime. By the time you get to the gym, you don't even have to really try to focus on your training because your entire day is locked in. So then you don't have to turn on this imaginary switch when you get there. You just live that way. So you don't have to try. You have to go around making stories about it and telling all your friends about it.
But that's where the bodybuilding has shifted.
Exactly.
Right. We're getting off topic here, but that's okay. This is a good topic.
Bodybuilding and fucking that's all,
we get off topic all the time. So
we do. It's okay.
Shit. The idea of showing people what you're doing is bigger than the success that they want to have themselves in development. So now it doesn't even become, this is where like the old heads, like of bodybuilding, like all the older guys I coach and the friends we had that when we used to bodybuild, like we didn't have to, I mean, I even do it sometimes. I'll videotape something. I don't become unfocused from that though, because I'll just do like a working set or something. But like, and I'll use it for client stuff.
Because like, you just literally put it up and go, like my tripod is here. And
then the focus is not grabbing the angle or the lighting, dude. You are so far away.
Immensely far away.
So far away from being focused right now. Like, oh, I like that gym. It's got good lighting. Oh, my God.
What does that actually matter?
The goal should be like, where can I be the most productive for you, make the most development in my physique? I don't care who's there. I don't care what I'm wearing that day. I don't care what camera. Why would I take a camera to the goddamn gym to lift?
It's not a movie set.
This isn't Hollywood. Work. You don't need a camera. Leave it at home. Okay? That's crazy to me. If you're doing a photo shoot, or there's something
of course,
you have
there's
a
intentionality behind it.
If I'm training a client, Dave, right? Or we're doing some like series on, like maybe we'll do something like that, right?
We should actually,
We should. Cooper will do that.
Yes. Hired.
There's going to be a video camera there.
Yeah, but Dave isn't bringing it with him.
No, Dave's like,
that would be the worst.
Well, okay, here's the example though. Dave's like, he'll be like, that's fine.
Just don't be in
keep that fucking camera away from me. Right? It's like
Yeah.
Branch Warren back in the day when they put the camera and he dropped the dumbbells down and was like, "Get the fuck out of my way." Yeah, man, because you're losing focus. Because it doesn't matter what he looks like. It doesn't matter if he has snot coming out of his nose or a booger in his. It doesn't matter, right? That's why we wear combat boots and look. He doesn't care. He wore what he wanted to.
Boots.
I like him too. You wear whatever you want. Man. You wear what you need. You do whatever you need to do. Yeah, I gotta watch what I say. Because this could go south quick.
There's examples I want to give, but I'm not going to give them because
Well, we can tie it up.
I will say, though, really quick, and then we'll end this. Because I've said this before, whether it's here or other places. If you are so unfocused that you can physically leave the place you are, the gym, walk into my store and have a conversation with me and be like, okay, I'm going to go hit my set now. You have ruined your entire... I deal with this every week, and it makes me want to scream after every time the person leaves. I don't understand. I will never understand it. How you can remove yourself that far from your workout and then think you're having a productive workout. If I walk from the bench to the other side of the gym and back just to pace, sometimes I get unfocused.
I think focus, too, just to make sure people understand, it doesn't mean you have to be 100% perfect that day either, or your intensity doesn't have to be through the roof. But
no, because you said that earlier.
Right. A focus is still, you're just focused on that. Maybe you have to focus harder on the days you don't feel that great.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying
you don't have to you'd be like, make that such a thing where you're like building up the workout to the point where I used to do that. Like, oh my God, I build up so much for the workout. It was like, take my energy away from the workout. It's you don't need to do that either. Yeah. Just focus on what you have the task at hand and get it done and then walk out. That's it.
Yep.
Right. But part of that is not adding all these other things in. Also, to put this in perspective and frame it out so people don't become deterred from lifting weights. Most of that conversation there was directed more so at the end there as we shifted off, is directed towards competitive athletes and competitive bodybuilders.
Yes. Which I'm glad you're clarifying that.
Okay, because some people are like, well, now Blake and Mark think me talking in the gym's bad and I'm not allowed to. No, that's not what we're saying. If you come to the gym and it's a good hour for you to like see some people
socialize and
just get blood moving around and just feel good, then absolutely do that. We are not judging that at all.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do whatever you want.
Of course.
But for someone that comes up to us maybe as a competitor.
Exactly.
And they're like, I want to do this. I want to achieve this. And it's a pretty lofty goal. Yeah. No one's becoming Chris.
I know.
Anyone that even says like, yeah, I kind of look like Chris. Oh my Lord.
You look absolutely nothing like him.
You're like, you seriously are delusional.
Yeah.
If you
mental illness.
You might. You might. Yeah, I kind of look like Chris Bumstead in it.
No.
Dude. I actually looked in the mirror this morning and like, I put like, if I put a wig on, I kind of look like Brad Pitt a little bit. Like, no, dude, you're ugly. I'm like, oh yeah, right, yeah. It's called delusion, right? Oh my God. So anyway, don't take that out of context.
Of course,
thinking
I'm glad
you have
you
to be
said
this focus-driven, crazy individual. Yeah. That's not for everyone. The gym looks different for every single person.
It does. And everyone's experience.
We were directing that more towards you can't, if you're going to talk about it, then be about it.
And achieve the highest level of fitness, which in our world is competitive bodybuilding. There's a certain way you should carry yourself.
Right.
That's different than the person that just goes to the gym to be fit and have a good life and be healthy.
Yep.
Which we support that fully.
100%.
So
if you're doing stretching, mobility, and hanging out with friends and kind of whatever.
Awesome. I love it. I wish I did that.
Sometimes I wish I was less unfocused.
I know.
To kind
it takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it takes pressure off. But the pressure is because you set a lofty goal.
Exactly.
So the pressure has to be there.
Yeah.
If you don't have this like crazy lofty goal and your goal is just like micro goal to like, hey, I just want to feel good and be healthy, then your focus can shift a lot.
Yep.
And you can treat the gym more as like just having fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's really cool to see the inner workings of how bodybuilding, for us anyway, how bodybuilding has translated to help us with success in business. I think that it's cool to see
we steered away at the end, but hopefully we got a lot.
We're coming back into it at the end, and then how even though like the things we're learning in business, though, those can also translate back to finding success in bodybuilding too. Because the things that we're now doing day to day, those are more business focused than bodybuilding. There's things I'm taking that learning to how to navigate my life on a day to day basis that we can bring back into training and bodybuilding and whatever. And the two are seemingly unrelated, but they're actually extremely related because it's just about discipline and hard work at the end of the day. And you can equate that to anything.
And just a willingness to be able to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a wrap.
I felt like that was about an hour. I wasn't tracking, so I'm telling myself that's it.
Cool.